Welcome to Criminal Tracks, where we uncover the most shocking scandals that shook the entertainment world. Today, we expose the dramatic downfall of Li Yifeng, a beloved superstar whose career crumbled overnight. For years, he was one of China's most admired actors, celebrated for his roles in blockbuster films and hit TV dramas. He had the charm, the talent, and the massive fan base that made him a household name. He was the face of luxury brands, gracing billboards and magazine covers worldwide. But behind the glamorous image, a dangerous secret was waiting to be revealed. In September 2022, everything changed. News broke that Li Yifeng had been arrested, sending shockwaves across the entertainment industry. Fans were in disbelief. How could one of China's most respected actors be involved in something so scandalous? As the truth unfolded, it became clear that this was not a misunderstanding, nor was it a minor controversy. The allegations against him were serious, so serious that even his most loyal supporters couldn't defend him. Within hours, his career was wiped out. Luxury brands severed ties, TV stations pulled his dramas, and social media erupted with outrage. His name, once associated with fame and success, was now linked to disgrace. But how did it all happen? How did a beloved idol go from the height of his career to complete ruin in a matter of days? The story of Li Yifeng is not just about a fall from grace. It's a warning about the price of power, fame, and the secrets that can destroy even the biggest stars. Li Yifeng's rise to stardom was nothing short of extraordinary. Born in China in 1987, he started his career in the entertainment industry as a contestant on a reality talent show. With his boyish charm, natural charisma, and an undeniable screen presence, he quickly captured the public's attention. While many reality show contestants faded into obscurity, Li Yifeng took a different path, transforming himself into a serious actor. He worked relentlessly, proving that he was more than just a pretty face. His breakthrough came with the 2014 drama Swords of Legends, where he played the lead role of Bailey Tusu. The fantasy action series was a massive success, drawing millions of viewers across China and solidifying his status as one of the most promising young actors of his generation. From that moment, his career skyrocketed. He became the go-to leading man for big-budget historical and fantasy dramas, starring in The Lost Tomb, Noble Aspirations, and Sparrow. Each role reinforced his image as a dependable, talented, and bankable star. His performances were widely praised, and his fan base grew exponentially, not just in China, but across Asia. Beyond his acting career, Li Yifeng became a major influencer in the world of fashion and endorsements. His clean-cut image and well-groomed appearance made him a favorite among luxury brands. He signed deals with Prada, Panerai, L'Oreal, and multiple other high-end labels, becoming a sought-after ambassador for global fashion and beauty products. Advertisers saw him as the perfect representation of sophistication, reliability, and success. He wasn't just an actor, he was a brand. His appeal extended far beyond entertainment. Dubbed the nation's boyfriend by fans, he embodied the ideal image of a modern Chinese man: handsome, successful, humble, and scandal-free. Unlike many celebrities who courted controversy or flaunted their wealth, Li Yifeng maintained a carefully crafted persona of a responsible and disciplined individual. He was the kind of star who could do no wrong, a role model admired by younger generations and respected by older audiences. At the height of his career, he was everywhere: television dramas, variety shows, magazine covers, and red carpet events. He won multiple acting awards, cementing his status as one of China's most bankable stars. His films and dramas consistently performed well, and his name alone could guarantee high viewership ratings. Directors wanted to work with him, brands wanted his endorsement, and fans idolized him. For over a decade, he built an empire based on charm, hard work, and an impeccable public image. However, fame at this level comes with intense scrutiny. The more beloved a celebrity is, the harder the fall when something goes wrong. As Li Yifeng continued to bask in the spotlight, few could have predicted that behind the polished facade, a scandal was quietly brewing. One that would not just damage his career, but erase it completely. For years, Li Yifeng had carefully maintained his image as a model citizen, a beloved actor with a flawless reputation. His career was built on the foundation of trust and admiration from his fans, the entertainment industry, and the brands that associated with him. But in September 2022, that carefully crafted persona came crashing down. What started as whispers on social media quickly escalated into one of the biggest celebrity scandals in China. One that would not only destroy his career, but also rewrite his legacy forever. The first signs of trouble appeared when rumors began circulating online about Li Yifeng's involvement in illegal activities. At first, many dismissed the claims as baseless gossip, the kind of internet speculation that often surrounds high-profile celebrities. After all, he had never been involved in any major controversy before. His fans rushed to his defense, insisting that it was nothing more than a smear campaign. But then, the situation took a dramatic turn when an official report from Chinese authorities confirmed the worst. Beijing police announced that Li Yifeng had been detained and was under investigation for soliciting illegal services. This revelation sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and stunned the public. It wasn't just a minor accusation, it was a full-scale legal scandal. Authorities revealed that he had engaged in these activities on multiple occasions, not just once, and that there was substantial evidence to support the claims. Unlike other celebrity scandals that could be covered up or resolved quietly, this one was too big to ignore. As the news spread, media outlets across China and beyond picked up the story. Headlines painted Li Yifeng in a completely different light. No longer the respected actor and role model, but a disgraced figure caught in an irreversible scandal. The details of the case were murky, but what was clear was that this was not just an isolated incident. Law enforcement officials suggested a pattern of behavior that had gone unnoticed for years, hidden behind the walls of his fame and status. The entertainment industry responded immediately. Brands that had once proudly featured Li Yifeng in their campaigns rushed to sever ties. Prada, Panerai, and L'Oreal, among others, announced the termination of their contracts with him within hours of the official report being released. Television stations and streaming platforms began removing his content, erasing his presence from public view as if he had never existed. Production studios distanced themselves, and any upcoming projects that involved him were swiftly canceled. His downfall was not just a personal tragedy, it was a financial disaster. The contracts he had spent years securing vanished overnight. The projects that were set to elevate his career further were scrapped. The trust he had built with directors, producers, and sponsors was gone. In a country where public figures are expected to uphold strict moral and legal standards, there was no coming back from an offense of this magnitude. As more details emerged, the backlash intensified. Fans who had once adored him now expressed their disappointment and anger. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions, with many calling for him to be permanently blacklisted. His once loyal supporters struggled to process the reality that the person they had admired for so long was not who they thought he was. Public figures and influencers weighed in on the scandal, some condemning his actions, others using his downfall as a lesson in accountability. Unlike other celebrities who had faced controversies and managed to stage comebacks, Li Yifeng had no defense. There was no room for damage control, no carefully crafted apology that could undo what had already been exposed. His silence only made things worse. While some celebrities in China had managed to regain public sympathy through acts of redemption, there was no such path available to him. The government's stance on the issue was clear. There would be no leniency. The media continued to dig deeper, uncovering more details about his past and questioning whether there had been previous cover-ups. Every aspect of his life was now under scrutiny. from his financial records to his personal relationships. The scandal had not just ruined his career, it had shattered his legacy. The man who had once been celebrated as China's national boyfriend was now a symbol of disgrace. With his career in ruins, his endorsements terminated, and his name erased from the entertainment industry, Li Yifeng faced a reality that few could have imagined just months earlier. But the worst was yet to come. The legal consequences of his actions, the lasting impact on his reputation, and the irreversible damage to his personal and professional life were only beginning to unfold. The fallout from Li Yifeng's scandal was immediate and devastating. In China, where public figures are held to strict moral and legal standards, the backlash was swift and unforgiving. As soon as the news of his arrest broke, social media platforms exploded with discussions, and within hours, his name was trending across Weibo, Douyin, and major Chinese forums. Fans who had once idolized him struggled to process the reality of the accusations, while critics wasted no time condemning his actions. The response was overwhelming, with millions of netizens expressing disappointment, outrage, and disbelief. The entertainment industry reacted just as quickly. Chinese authorities have long maintained a zero-tolerance policy toward celebrities involved in criminal activity, and Li Yifeng became the latest example of this stance. His agency attempted to downplay the situation at first, issuing vague statements that did little to calm the public. But once official law enforcement reports confirmed the allegations, there was no way to contain the damage. Within hours, major television networks and streaming platforms began removing his content, effectively erasing his presence from China's entertainment industry. Dramas and films that once featured him were taken offline or quietly buried. Shows that he had already filmed but had yet to be released were abruptly canceled, leading to enormous financial losses for production companies. Luxury brands that had once proudly associated with him moved just as fast. Prada, Panerai, and L'Oreal, which had previously made him a global ambassador, immediately terminated their contracts and removed all promotional materials featuring him. The business world knew that continuing to support him would bring massive public backlash, and so his brand deals disappeared as swiftly as his reputation. Billboards were taken down, advertisements were pulled, and sponsorships were revoked. What had taken years to build was dismantled in a matter of days. The economic impact extended beyond just Li Yifeng himself. Investors who had funded projects featuring him saw their money evaporate. Studios that had counted on his star power to drive ratings were forced to scrap productions. Brands that had aligned their image with his clean-cut persona had to pivot their marketing strategies overnight. The financial damage ran into the millions, proving once again that when a celebrity falls in China, they don't just take themselves down, they take entire industries with them. Beyond China, the scandal made international headlines, with media outlets across Asia, Europe, and North America covering the shocking downfall. Western news platforms framed the story as another example of China's strict approach to celebrity scandals, comparing it to similar incidents involving other high-profile figures in the past. Some questioned whether the swift cancellation was too extreme, while others pointed out that in China's tightly controlled entertainment industry, there is little room for redemption after such severe accusations. The incident also reignited discussions about the immense pressure faced by Chinese celebrities. Unlike Hollywood, where stars often survive scandals and sometimes even benefit from the publicity, China's entertainment industry offers little forgiveness. When a public figure falls, the punishment is often absolute, leaving no possibility for a comeback. Many international commentators drew comparisons to Western actors and musicians who had been involved in controversies, but were later able to rebuild their careers. However, in Li Yifeng's case, the possibility of redemption seemed non-existent. As the days passed, the scandal remained one of the most talked about topics across Chinese and international media. Fans who once fiercely defended him slowly came to terms with the reality of his downfall. Some expressed sadness over the loss of an actor they had admired for years, while others felt betrayed, believing that the image he had cultivated had been nothing more than an illusion. In a country where trust and reputation are everything, Li Yifeng had broken both, and there was no turning back. While many past Chinese celebrities had faced public scrutiny, few had fallen so far, so fast. The message from the public and the industry was clear. There would be no second chances. His name, once associated with prestige and success, had become a cautionary tale. The entertainment industry had already begun moving on, filling the space he left behind with rising stars who had yet to be tainted by scandal. In the world of fame, no one is irreplaceable, and Li Yifeng had learned that lesson in the harshest way possible. With his career completely dismantled, Li Yifeng faded from the public eye. Once one of China's most celebrated actors, he was now a disgraced figure whose name had been systematically erased from the entertainment industry. The projects that had once been his stepping stones to superstardom were no longer accessible, wiped from streaming platforms and archives. His endorsement deals, once worth millions, had vanished overnight. The man who had been the face of luxury brands and blockbuster dramas was now a cautionary tale, his legacy reduced to scandal and disgrace. Financially, the consequences were severe. The contracts that had once secured him a lavish lifestyle were gone, and any remaining assets were overshadowed by legal fees and penalties. While some fallen celebrities managed to quietly rebuild their fortunes through business ventures or private investments, Li Yifeng had no such options. His brand had been destroyed beyond repair, and no company was willing to associate with him. Unlike in Western entertainment industries, where celebrities can often recover from scandals with time, China's strict stance on morality and public figures left him with no path to redemption. Socially, he faced near total isolation. Former colleagues, industry friends, and business associates distanced themselves, wary of any lingering connection to his name. Public appearances were out of the question, as any sighting of him risked reigniting outrage. Without access to the platforms that had once amplified his voice, he was effectively silenced. No interviews, no statements, no attempts to explain his side of the story. He had become invisible. Rumors swirled about his whereabouts, with some reports suggesting that he had chosen to live in quiet seclusion, avoiding the public as much as possible. Others speculated that he had relocated to another country, attempting to escape the overwhelming fallout of his actions. Regardless of where he ended up, one thing was certain: his days in the spotlight were over. His case served as a reminder of how swiftly fame can disappear and how little room for error exists in the Chinese entertainment industry. Fans who had once adored him had moved on, attaching their loyalty to newer, untainted stars. The media, which had once celebrated his every achievement, no longer mentioned his name. His story had been told, his fate had been sealed, and the entertainment world had continued without him. Though time may soften the public's memory, the damage to his reputation was irreversible. The industry had shown no signs of reconsidering its stance, and there was no indication that he would ever be welcomed back. While some figures in global entertainment find ways to stage comebacks, Li Yifeng had become an example of what happens when trust is broken beyond repair. His legacy was no longer about his acting, his talent, or his success. It was about the scandal that ended everything. Li Yifeng's downfall was more than just another celebrity scandal. It was a stark reminder of how fragile fame can be. His story demonstrated that no level of success, wealth, or influence could protect a public figure from the consequences of their actions. In an industry built on image and reputation, even the smallest misstep can lead to irreparable damage. When trust is broken, it is almost impossible to regain, and for Li Yifeng, the consequences were absolute. His case also highlighted the strict moral expectations placed on Chinese celebrities. Unlike in Hollywood, where stars often recover from controversies, China's entertainment industry operates with a far less forgiving system. The government and the public demand a high standard of behavior from public figures, And when that standard is violated, the punishment is swift and severe. His story became an example of how quickly someone can go from being one of the most beloved figures in entertainment to being completely erased from the industry. Beyond just the entertainment world, his downfall served as a lesson in accountability. No matter how powerful or admired someone is, the truth eventually comes to light. In an era where social media amplifies every action and reaction, there is no hiding from mistakes. The world watches, judges, and reacts instantly, making redemption even harder to achieve. Li Yifeng's story is a warning, a reminder that fame is temporary, but integrity is what truly defines a legacy.